Hi, welcome to episode 7, believe it or not, of LRK Podcast. Today I'm joined by Tim from RageLAG Gaming and Greg the Lone Wanderer himself. It's been a couple of weeks since we've done a podcast, guys. Why?
What's happened?
Yeah, what's happened? Yeah.
Been out of action for a while.
Busy boys.
Yeah.
We all have been, I know.
Busy doing nothing.
Yeah,
Busy
waiting.
Working 23 hours a day.
Yeah, waiting for announcements of games. Let's get into this whole Xbox Series S X, which absolutely confused me when I think it was you, Tim, that sent me a tweet, or somebody, I don't know, somebody sent me a tweet. I didn't know what was X, what was S, where's A, B, and C. Seriously. But that just came out of nowhere, that announcement. It was just crazy.
Yeah, well, it was due. I mean, everyone was sort of...
Sorry, Tim, but wasn't it Pringles that they reckon leaked the...
Yeah, Pringles chips.
Yeah, it started somewhere, and then Twitter started exploding, and then all of a sudden, it was... There we go, Pringles. Open it up. There's probably an Xbox in there, Greg.
Yeah, you might be lucky. Get the first one.
But yeah, just sort of Twitter exploded, and then Xbox. You could tell it was legit when they put that meme out with was it that, I don't know what that meme is exactly, with the like it's sort of like an Ernie looking doll, looking awkward. So like I think just by posting that picture, which got like thousands of likes, you could sort of tell it was legit. So, and then like a couple of hours later, we finally got the prices. So
prices, release date as well. Was that?
Release date as well, yeah. And a pre-order date too. So I think it's the 22nd of September. You can start the pre-order.
Well, that's for here in Australia, isn't it? With the EB Games.
Games, yeah. So,
yeah.
Now it's going to be over Sony. Surely, I think next week we'll see a price from Sony, but I guess we'll get into that in a bit. But with the Xbox Series S, I think the prices are pretty reasonable, or pretty much what we were thinking anyway.
Yeah,
I think sort of was thinking around that $500 US mark for the X, which is obviously the bigger console with full 4K and the disk drive and everything. So that's obviously going to be, well, I don't know if it'll outsell the S, but I think it'll be close to 50-50. And yeah, I think it's going to do pretty well. I think Games Pass, really, when you break it down, $10 a month, it's pretty good value. And I think even people that get the X will still get Games Pass. I think probably the S is going to be more of a casual gamer, Fortnite machine, someone, the gamers that get like COD and FIFA, yearly, and that's about it. So it sort of makes sense. I think there's a lot of value there, and I think Xbox or Microsoft are doing a good job of changing the game a bit and making it about Games Pass rather than the actual consoles. So
that's right. Now, was it you, Greg, that was saying about the whole? Is it the Telstra deal with the Xbox Series S here, where you pay a monthly subscrition and it's yours?
No, that was me.
That was you. So hard to tell that both of you. You both got beards.
It looks so alike.
Yeah, it looks so alike. Yeah,
pretty much the same person, aren't we, Greg?
I think so. But I think that's a really cool idea from Microsoft to do that as well. To, offer that to the punters, because we're in the middle of a COVID, pandemic. A lot of people are out of work, so good alternative for them.
Yeah, definitely.
But you're going to only fit 2 games on this thing?
Well, yeah, that's the big downfall of the S, is the hard drive. So it's only 500 gig. So being all digital, So, and being all digital as well, you download, probably going to get 4 games on there, 5 games. So, and then you're just going to have to consistently delete games to put other ones on. So that's where it sort of falls down. And the X comes with a terabyte. So,
yeah. So basically, somebody's going to have to go out and buy, external SSD drives or whatever,
which are going to cost. Yeah. Well, that's going to cost $200 at least for external SSD. So that's almost the price of the console.
Yeah. So yeah, why wouldn't you wait for the Series X, which is going to
Yeah.
have 4K capability, more powerful?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, what Net's see, I'm tongue-tied. What Microsoft has done was, yeah, they put it to Sony, and we still haven't heard nothing from Sony,
Yeah.
which could lead into a lack of information from the PlayStation 5. I'm not happy about it. I mean, we got everything from Microsoft now. I thought maybe after 24 hours we would have heard from Sony, but they're just doing ridiculous tweets on random games and stuff. They're not even acknowledging the fact that this has happened.
Well, I know on Facebook they've just been talking about the controller and
Yeah.
some other stuff, and you can see it in the comments. Like everyone's just like, great, but price, like
Price?
what's going on? You know?
People starting to get annoyed, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I know I am.
I think that they have to do it before the Xbox stuff goes on pre-sale, because people will start pre-ordering that instead of waiting. So I think next week, it has to be next week. And also Nintendo are just letting loose with all these games now as well. So it's just the Microsoft and Nintendo party at the moment, and Sony is sort of just sitting, waiting.
Waiting for what?
Yeah, exactly.
I think they sort of come across as cocky, don't they? They're just like they've clearly won this generation, which I think is pretty clear. But they sort of did that with the PS2 era too. They won that, and then they got cocky, and then look what happened. The PS3 sort of wasn't that great for them. So could be history repeating itself.
It could be if they keep this attitude up. Wasn't it like if you wanted to pre-order? I think you said this, Greg, on your video, that if you wanted to pre-order from Sony themselves, you have to show that you're worthy enough.
Yeah, you got to prove.
How ridiculous is that?
I think we would talk. I think all three of us said, didn't we, that we thought maybe it might be that not got a lot of units made. Like they're just kind of dragging it out for that reason. It just seems such a strange thing. Like, why wouldn't you say first in, first served?
Yeah, exactly.
Just silliness.
That was my thoughts too. It's just like it sort of sounds like they haven't got that many units, but if they're pulling that sort of thing. But did you see? This is one thing we didn't talk about. I think yesterday or the day before, the PS5 actually went on pre-sale, but it was like a gold-plated one.
Yeah,
it was like $7. Yeah, it's like $7,000.
What a slap in the face to everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can actually go and pre-order it now, Ken. But if you weren't such a tight ass, go and pre-order it, and you get like you get a gold controller as well. So just so it's 24 karat gold, and you can get that. Just sell whatever's behind you, and you'll have
everything needs to go just to have that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can only see like the rich kids in Saudi Arabia, Dubai, buying that sort of stuff, to be honest with you. Yeah, they love like gold. But yeah, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
That is another. I didn't hear about that. So there's another slap in the face for us. Yeah.
Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather, they'll get one each probably.
Probably three of them.
Yeah. Play some UFC together.
Why not? Why not?
Probably rig that as well.
So what do you think? Do you think we're going to get something next week? It has to be next week.
I think so.
Price, what are you guys thinking for the prices? You're going to have to match. They're going to have to match.
I think the PS5 will match the Xbox Series X price for the disc version.
Yeah.
I don't think the discless PS5 will be as cheap as the discless, the Series S. That'll be a bit more still.
Yeah, because the Series S is scaled back a bit, which I don't think Sony would have been expecting that.
Yeah, no, so that's only 1440p. I think they're upscaling to 4K, but that's not going to be native 4K. But I don't think that's such necessarily a bad thing. I think if you're getting high frames, a good frame, you're still going to get a high frame rate on the Series S. So I think it's good value for money. I think it's a good option. But probably not for us collectors, but for the casual regular gamer, I think it's a solid option.
Yeah. Now, just before we go into the other topic, I think we saw that Nintendo is asking developers to have their games ready for 4K capability as well. So there's a whole new kettle of fish going into that with the possibility of a Switch Pro next year. If they are asking companies to ready their games for 4K capability, that's a bit odd.
Yeah.
I thought it was the Wii too.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be. Watch this space. We'll find out.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, would fit the bill, wouldn't it? Wii 2,
Yeah.
4K.
Yeah.
Well, why stop at 4K? Just go 8K. And yeah.
Yeah, why
backwards
not?
compatibility. I'm sure those Wii games would look fantastic in 8K.
I'm sure they won't. They're all that standard definition, I think.
Yeah.
Which is a shame,
Good old Donkey Kong Country in 8K. How good would that look?
awesome, coming out the screen at you, wouldn't it? Yeah, bit of Donkey Kong.
Like a banana would go up your nose or something.
Somewhere else. Who knows?
Well, okay.
You never know. You gotta be careful, Donkey Kong.
Depends what direction you're looking at the TV.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, should we go into shelf of greats?
Yes.
It's been a while, since we've done that. And what was the last month? What were the nominees last month? I know it was Uncharted 2.
Oh.
You can't remember, can you?
I can't remember either.
Well, Uncharted 2 won. My game won.
Oh, so you looked it up. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what the other two were either.
So, yeah, I honestly can't remember what game I picked last time. But it probably was, like a month since we did the last podcast.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah. So, yeah, I won.
Anyway, Uncharted 2.
Yeah. I got to look up and see what your other games were. Okay, so we're going to start with me.
Yeah, you won, so you're up.
Okay, so with my nominee for this month, this week or whatever, I thought I'd go back because we're celebrating the 25th anniversary of the original PlayStation, and I thought, why not go for a bit of Lara
Of course.
Come on.
Yeah,
this is not a fair fight.
I don't need to say anything. Just vote for Tomb Raider. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Just vote for old Lara Croft. Yep.
Well, it was like Lara was coming out of this.
Yeah.
No, seriously, great game. The best in the series, I think. One of the best in the series. Yeah, I played this game to death so many times. It's just, unbelievable. Still, this is the original copy I had back in the day. So everything else I sold off in the collection apart from this game.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I bought that game like 3 weeks ago on Steam for about $3. I haven't played it yet. So they're having a special on all the old. Well, actually, you could buy every single Tomb Raider game in existence for $180.
Gee.
I didn't do that, but I just picked out a few, and I got that one for like $3. So it'll be interesting to see how it looks on PC too. But
it will look really good on PC. I know that.
Classic game.
The Saturn got a version of that too, didn't it?
Yeah. It's the Saturn. It's more. It's not as good as the PlayStation version. No. Yeah, the Saturn really wasn't built to do 3D games. It was a lot darker in a lot of spots where this was more crisp. I do have it on the Saturn as well. I didn't get rid of that. That was another game I kept on the Saturn. So yeah, that's my pick.
Very nice.
Okay, who's next? Tim?
Yes, I'll go. So I've picked Horizon Zero Dawn this week. So I just think with Horizon Forbidden West around the corner, the hype levels are starting to get there a bit with that game, and I just thought it was fantastic. A lot of contention, I guess. There was a lot of controversy with, between Horizon Zero Dawn and Breath of the Wild for Game of the Year. I think it was 2017. A lot of people think Horizon should have beat Breath of the Wild. Ken, I'm sure you'd agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I sort of liked them equally, but, for different reasons. But I thought it was a fantastic game. I haven't tried the DLC, the Frozen Wilds, I think it's called. Maybe if anyone in the comment section, if anyone's played it, let me know if it's any good. But I think yeah, classic game. One of the best games of this, I guess, on the PS4. So Sony exclusive, obviously, although it just came to Steam. So will we see the next game on Steam? I'm not sure, but Horizon Zero Dawn, fantastic game.
Because I know a couple of guys that work at PC Gamers, and they're rapt about Horizon Zero Dawn being on PC. They're saying, "Oh, when are we going to get Uncharted?" So, yeah, who knows?
Maybe. Well, PlayStation have come out and said they're going to be adding more to Steam. It makes sense. Yeah. So I think God of War might be the next one, because why not put that on there before the next God of War comes out?
Yeah.
Because that's sort of what they've done with Horizon. They've put that out there, maybe to try and garner more interest for the next one.
Yeah.
So I think God of War might sneak on there at some point.
Okay, Greg.
I'm just going to say I'm pretty sure I actually have that Horizon Zero Dawn. It's got all the DLC and stuff on it, so I'll just have to have a check and just see. But I haven't played it. Anyway, Shelf of Greats. So this just walked into a store and just walked right in the store. Actually, no, I'm just joking. It's a good game though. Like, I do like it, but
I've heard it's quite rare.
Yeah.
Got monkeys, little bananas.
That's so
love
cute.
it. You know, I've never played it.
It's quite good, but it's
I don't think I've played a Donkey Kong game since I was a kid, probably. But my daughter wants it, so I'll probably get it for her one day.
Well, you'll be paying through the nose unless you get a good deal.
I know. Well, yeah. Hard to find on the Wii, apparently.
On the Wii too. No. My pick. I don't know if I've actually. I feel like I might have done this. So if I have picked this before, just go back to this, okay? Because this will win.
So that's the fact. It probably would win, actually.
Yeah.
It talked about on a popular YouTube channel.
If Brittany can win, Tropical Freeze can win.
Yes.
Anything can happen. It's LRK Podcast.
Hang on, let's see if I can. Funky new mode. See? That's where the dollars are.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway, sorry.
Okay.
Mass Effect 2.
Ooh,
I feel like I have done this before. I've just got this funny feeling that I have.
No, you haven't.
I haven't? Okay, cool.
No.
Yeah, absolutely love the Mass Effect series. 2 is definitely the best one, I feel. Just amazing characters, the story, the suicide mission at the end is really incredible. And I don't think you can go wrong with Mass Effect 2. So, yeah. So
nice.
I put down and
I think that's 3 really good games. So it'll be a bit hard to pick this week, guys.
Good one. I think that is. That's a really good pick. That's a good one. Okay, so look, while we're talking about PlayStation, 25 years of PlayStation. I thought that would have been the perfect time for Sony to announce the PS5, but they didn't.
I thought it was, definitely this week.
Yeah. I think a lot of people were expecting that, but 25 years of PlayStation, I got to remember, I can remember back, oh God, when it first came out, I went to, I think it was Games R Us, Toys R Us, and seeing it in the glass cabinet there, and it was like $800, and I had to hold off for like maybe a year and a half, 2 years until it dropped down in price. But that thing was so expensive back then.
Yeah, it was
insane.
Huge. I remember my next door neighbor, and he was only like 18 at the time, but he had a part-time job and he saved up the $800 and got it. And I just remember sitting in his lounge room watching him play Tomb Raider and just being absolutely blown away. It wasn't till a little while later that I sold my motorbike to buy it, the Nintendo 64.
Oh my God.
Because it was like deemed advertised as the most sort of more powerful console at the time. And being a kid, I completely bought into it. So I never owned a PS1. So I didn't get on the PlayStation train till PS2. So
wow.
Yeah, all my friends had PS1s and I was just lonely little old Timmy sitting out in the back with my Nintendo 64.
Glad you got friends now, Timber. It took you long enough, but you found some. Just had to start a YouTube channel.
Well, that's it.
I have a little bit of a reverse of Timbo's story. Because I did the same thing. I thought 64, okay, that's a bigger number than 32. So, Nintendo 6, and because I was so impressed with the Super Nintendo coming off that, so I thought, okay, I've got to continue with Nintendo. But then I ended up getting the first PlayStation, and that Nintendo got put away, and never. It's why it's well preserved now, because I just never played it that much after that. I just got so much into PlayStation, and they just had an awesome library. I think that was the thing. Like, there was just so many games for the PlayStation. And I remember, like, Nintendo were just kind of trickling out games. It seemed like, they thought, well, quality over quantity, but PlayStation were just all the time, constant games coming out. So I had to go with PlayStation then. So.
And having Square Enix, bring out Final Fantasy VII on the PlayStation, that was a big deal back then, because they only made games for Nintendo. Yeah,
I read somewhere that they still haven't spoken. Nintendo and Squaresoft, they're still bad blood to this day. So it must have been a massive thing for them.
It was, also not going CD based like the PlayStation, that hurt them. And I did the same thing. I did have a 64 as well as the PlayStation, and like you, Greg, I ended up selling it. I just wasn't playing nothing because it was all mainly kids games, and at that stage I wanted more games for older audience. That's what it was all about for me.
Well, imagine how many cartridges, like, for Final Fantasy VII, like.
Oh, you couldn't. You couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. There's over 2 hours of full motion video on Final Fantasy VII.
Was it 5 discs that came out for the PlayStation? Was it 5?
4. 4. Yeah, 4 discs. Yeah. So it was a mammoth game for Square, and I think that's what they were working towards. Stop doing these 16-bit RPGs, and with the new technology, they were just able to let their minds go free and just go crazy. So that was really cool. Okay, so like you said, this week we had the Series X news come out. All of these games are just we've been bombarded with games last week or so. Mario, Hyrule Warrior, and Scott Pilgrim, and all this other stuff. Where did this all come from? It's just like
it's been overwhelming, honestly.
It has.
I can't deal with it.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, we were complaining about all these Nintendo Direct Minis, and then all of a sudden, there was no Direct for these either. They just sort of there was the Mario Direct, I guess. But and I guess so, some of the other games, Scott Pilgrim and those, that was part of the Ubisoft thing, which I thought was really good. Ubisoft had a lot on offer, but Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity, that was a bit of a surprise. I don't think anyone really saw that coming.
No.
But we sort of know now the Christmas lineup for Nintendo, because we were sort of scratching our heads like, Nintendo are going into Christmas with nothing, and all of a sudden there's quite a bit there. So
and for them to score Scott Pilgrim, it's not on the Xbox or PlayStation. That's a pretty big deal as well.
Okay, I didn't know that. So that's just for the Switch.
Just for the Switch at this stage, just for the Switch. So
that's cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's been in limbo for like the last 10 years. Everybody's been asking for it. Once it went off I think the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 stores, it just disappeared, and a lot of people thought maybe it was lost forever. But thank God Ubisoft has finally listened and releasing that. But how about the price gouging with this Mario 3D All Stars? This is limited releases. I've never seen Nintendo do anything this stupid.
Well, I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah,
it just doesn't make sense. Like, imagine, say, the next Breath of the Wild only having a limited release. That's like, this thing will sell like hotcakes. So why not just keep printing them? Like 6 months?
Yeah.
Is that what the window
6
was?
months.
And it's already selling out in the US. You can still get it here in Australia pretty easily. But it just seems crazy to me. Are they trying to push the digital thing now? Like,
Well,
which doesn't make sense now, because
yeah.
I think the next Switch will be all digital.
Yeah.
But I just don't get it. Maybe something I'm missing. I just don't understand why they're doing it for this game.
So at the end of the 6 months, no more physical copies. That means it's going to be taken off the eShop as well.
No, I think it'll stay on the eShop. I just don't think you'll be able to get it physically.
Okay. So they are trying to push digital. I think they are. I don't know. It's
but
weird.
like, why are they doing this and then Hyrule Warriors? That's going to keep going.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand their reasoning. Like, we never understand them half the time. But yeah, it was a really odd announcement, and just hearing that people buying 2 copies are going to download digital, and they're expecting to keep these for a couple of years and sell them for like $500 each. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are coming out and saying that, like you said, they're going to download it digitally and keep the physical copy sealed. So bizarre.
But there'd be like millions of copies sealed sitting on people's shelves for years, I think. I don't know.
Is it the games you wanted, Ken?
I didn't want Mario 64. I would rather have Sunshine and Galaxy 1 and 2. I've got both of those games on the Switch. On the Wii U. Wii. What do you? Yeah, Wii 2. Okay. Yeah, I actually did a collections video on the Wii, so it's there. I talk about that. But yeah, I wanted both of those Galaxy games because they're really unique. They're so cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, 64. I fired up my Wii U, and you can still go onto the eShop and download Mario 64 for like $10.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's still there.
That's still up and running, is it? Okay.
It's still up and running. I'm surprised. Yeah, that's still going. Yeah.
Yeah, still being supported. That's good.
For now.
Yeah.
So what else is there? I'm going to turn it over to Greg. We're going to talk about some wrestling.
Time to shine.
Wrestling, yeah.
Wrestling, yes. For those people that are interested.
There is a few out there. We've got a few.
Okay, well, that's all right then.
Yeah.
So what wrestling subjects are we talking?
Vince McMahon. Controlling. Control freak, isn't he?
Yeah. I did a bit of research on this, trying to get some different points of view. I know because I was watching a podcast, or listening to a podcast where they were talking about how back in the 80s, WWF wrestlers couldn't do an interview with a local paper without getting the green light from Vince McMahon or whatever. But I feel like in the 80s that was more when that was all pre-internet. So a lot of times like wrestlers will do these third-party deals where they're kind of like using their own names and they're not being their characters, and there's a feeling like maybe that's what's wrong with wrestling now, because back in the day, everyone played their character and they stuck to what they did on TV. So you kind of thought maybe what you saw was kind of like what they were really like, but now everyone sort of knows the way wrestling is now. So I don't think it's that big a deal to sort of restrict these guys from doing, like YouTube or like Up, Down, Down, which was the channel that visited Joel a few years back and did that big video with him. So that might be one of the channels that's going to get taken down because Vince wants a cut of that, I guess. So yeah, it is very weird. He's a billionaire and he's worried about what these guys are making on the side. Doesn't make sense.
Pretty ordinary. It just seems like he's sort of always been a little bit like that, do you think? Or do you think he's old age or what?
I've heard a few stories that he hates to sneeze because he can't control the sneeze.
Are you
So when he
serious?
sneezes, he gets angry. So he's always been like that. So
Yeah.
Oh.
from what I hear, so
Maybe
yeah.
he's just always sort of been a bit like that. Now he's starting to show it, like getting a bit worse. I don't know, but
Yeah. Well, I think maybe he's just figured out what YouTube is. Like,
Yeah,
oh well,
maybe.
of course he would know, but
Yeah.
I mean, because the thing is, like, not everyone's making like John Cena money. Like,
yeah,
not
well, that's it.
Yeah.
That's right.
making massive money. Some of these guys they're not selling as many shirts, or you know, they're not booked to be at the top of the rung. So, you know, some of them have been able to do like Cameo, which I didn't know what Cameo was. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, where you can pay X amount of money and they'll do like a message to you, like a personalized message.
No, yeah.
Oh, is that like what Bam did?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
overthink, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's similar to that.
Oh, okay.
So that's another, it's pretty much all that sort of media. They've got 30 days to take it down, or they could be fined, suspended, or fired.
Because for some of these guys, it's like going to be like this when they finish wrestling, they can just go into the up, down, down, because they got a Twitch channel as well, which is pretty successful. Yeah. They're raking in some dollars, so why not? They're not going to be wrestling for the rest of their lives.
No.
Why
Isn't
not?
there, like in Australia, with the rugby league, for example, isn't there's like laws where the players are allowed to go and make money on the side? Like, isn't it like a restriction of, not employment, it's like a restriction of earnings or something?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, restriction of trade. Like you can't, well, it's obviously different over there, but I don't think you can do that here.
Well, I follow Den and Kemp. I don't know. You might have heard of him, Tim. He played for the Broncos, played a bit for the Warriors, and now he's got a bar, like a club that he runs on the Gold Coast or wherever it is.
Yeah.
And he's got his own brand of beer that he's putting out. Bloke in a Bar, I think it's called. And when he does his little sports commentaries and stuff, he'll make up like these little graphics with, like, they look like footy cards, and they'll say, oh, this guy was the player of the match or whatever. And I saw someone comment saying, oh, you should have these little like trading card things in every carton of beer, like have the NRL players on it. And he said no, because that's like the players are sort of like, it's a licensing thing the NRL wouldn't allow.
Yeah.
So that's another thing I factored into it, with his Vince McMahon thing. But the thing is, on the contracts, he regards them as independent contractors. So it's a very lopsided thing he's been getting away with for a long time. So technically, when you know, independent contractors have been, if you're not wrestling for WWE on a certain day, that should allow you to wrestle somewhere else. If someone says, hey, I'll pay you to come and wrestle on my show. But of course they can't. They'd be fired. So that's the other point where they're saying, well, they're independent contractors. If you took that to court, he can't stop these guys from actually doing these outside projects if they're independent contractors. But he's been, it's just something he's been getting away with for years. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, look at the UFC too, with Dana White and Conor McGregor. Like, he's got his own line of scotch or Proper 12, and he's makes plenty of money on the side doing whatever he wants. But I don't know if it's the same for every UFC star, but yes, it's obviously different for different sports. I mean, it's Vince's show at the end of the day, isn't it? So he can probably do what he wants. So.
Yeah.
Because they were also saying that, like back in the 80s, where there was still quite a number of other major companies to work for, and guys that had been in wrestling for a while, if Vince said something like that to them, they'd say, I'll shove off, you know, I'll go. Whereas Vince has got it now where all these latest generations of kids grew up as WWE fans, and they become wrestlers for him. It's like, they're just happy to be there.
Yeah.
So if Vince says, well, you can't do this, then they're just going to say, well, okay, fine. They're not going to contest it like maybe a grizzled old wrestler would have done back in the 70s or 80s, whereas now it's like, it's just a dream to be wrestling for Vince McMahon. So
True.
that's a lot of stuff that doesn't go to court that probably should.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
good luck anybody taking him on. You're not going to win.
Well, that's the other
Not
thing.
with
He's
him.
just tied up in courts and cost
For
millions
years.
of dollars, and
Yeah.
it wouldn't be worth it.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. It really is. Well, anything else, guys? Because otherwise, that's a wrap for us.
Ooh.
Wow.
Be quicker than we thought. We're worried about this one's
Yeah.
going to be too long.
Yeah, wasn't too long. Anything else?
I got Matt Hardy down here on my run.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, man, that was bad, eh?
Yeah. He's
Damn.
really been
guy.
in the wars. Prior to that, he got hit in the head with a chair and actually got like a big cut for real and had to go to the hospital for that. And now this concussion thing. And they actually copped quite a bit of heat for that because Andrew Yang, I think it was, he was a presidential candidate at one point, and he talked about it on his Twitter. He must be a wrestling fan or something. And he saw it and he said they should have stopped the match and all that. So he was going on all these like news outlets and everything saying about and then they got free publicity. They got over 1 million fans. First time they've done that, 1 million fans tuned into their TV show. So
Wow.
it actually worked out well for them, but they definitely should have stopped the match. That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Looking at that footage, it was, that was bad.
Sanity.
Really was. Yeah. But that's just him. He said to go on. He was good to go, wasn't he?
Well, that's why in the NRL now, I mean, there's a doctor there and that says if you can't play, you can't play. They don't leave it up to the player and say, well, can you go on? Because they would just go, yeah, of course I can. And then, end up doing themselves more injuries. So most wrestlers in that situation, they would like, we'll finish the match, but they really should have stopped that. So,
same as boxing. Like if your boxer's out on their feet, you're supposed to throw in the towel from the corner. No boxer's going to stop boxing. No. You know what I mean? They're going to want to keep going. So it's up to people in their corner or people. There's got to be people on hand on the side there, calling the shots for those situations.
With that fight with was it Horn and Zoo?
Yeah, Tim Zoo. Yeah,
Tim Zoo. That should have been stopped because Tim was just beating the crap out of Jeff Horn.
Oh, that's.
You were there, Ken, actually.
Yeah, I was.
Oh, that's right. You're in the. Hey, Tim, can you insert the photo?
Yeah, I'll insert the video. Sorry. He was there.
Yep.
Didn't even give
us the ring. In the ring.
I was spewing. I was actually at work and saw bits and pieces of the fight on my break. And here's Ken ringside, and I'm like straight on the phone. What are you doing? Like, where's the ticket? Unbelievable.
I know.
This guy, he's just
everywhere. In everybody's minds lately, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, quickly, what games were you playing lately?
Oh shit.
Yeah, there we go. I knew there was something.
Yeah, was something else.
I got into the Shadow of War, the Mordor games.
Oh, yeah.
The one that Rix plays.
He's the only one.
Yeah, well, I play it, so that's too.
Yeah.
I've been playing a bit of that, and I was also playing a game off Steam called Banished, which is a Pioneer era kind of city building game. So that's been a bit of fun.
I saw some footage of that. That was good.
Yeah. Well, I've gone back into Astral Chain on Switch.
Yeah.
24 hours into it, on to stage 9. How much further have I got?
I can't remember how many levels there were, but it
was
about. I think from memory, it was about a 25-hour game, so you can't have too much left. I haven't played it since release, but I do remember the final boss was a bit tricky, but up till then, I didn't have really any dramas with it. But good game, great game.
Yeah, so that's all I'm playing at the moment, trying to finish that one off.
Yeah. Well, I was playing. Well, last week I did a playthrough of Rise of the Tomb Raider. Oh, so that was good because I sort of missed that. Very similar to Shadow of the Tomb Raider, like very, very similar. I think the 3 most recent Tomb Raiders are all pretty much like that. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was good. And this week I picked up Hyrule Warriors because I didn't play that, and with the new one coming out, I wanted to try it out. And probably about 3 hours into that, and yeah, really enjoying it. So it's a bit very different. I can sort of see why the diehard Zelda fans aren't that into it. but I mean, graphically, it looks good on the Switch, and yeah, I don't mind a bit of hack and slash. So yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I'll definitely finish it, and looking forward to the next one. So,
which is interesting because because that takes place before the Breath of the Wild, so we're gonna see the death of Link at the end of that.
yeah.
Yeah, or that's what they're saying.
Yeah, well, it's going to end poorly. Like, it's going to have a bad ending. But
bad ending, yeah.
I think it's good that they're sort of tying these Hyrule Warriors games into the Zelda timeline, because I hadn't done that before. So to get a bit more of that story, so it's sort of going to become a trilogy in a way. Like, we've got the sequel,
yeah,
and this is going to be the prequel. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it for sure, because I enjoyed Breath of the Wild, but. I know it's a sore point for you, Ken, but anyway.
All good. All good. So that pretty much is it. Don't forget to vote for our games. We all got our games up. Yeah, come on, Greg. Where is it? Mass Effect 2. Oh, and yeah, take your pick.
You watch Donkey Kong get up.
Probably, hey. We got people voting for Donkey Kong.
Yeah, probably.
So this will be up on my channel. The next podcast, when we do it, will be over on Tim's channel. So there'll be links down below to all of the channels. Please subscribe, and thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.